Today on Game & Watch It, the Nintendo Switch has outsold the Wii U.
You couldn't put down your phone before that, could you?
Why?
I'm disgusted.
Yeah!
Hello and welcome to another episode of Game & Watch It. Today I'm joined by my good friend Arzee and my good friend Poli. And together, we are Game & Watch It.
For our listeners, me and Arzee were just very blatantly waving and doing like the stupidest smiles we could have possibly done.
Yeah, you
Blatantly.
can. If you're watching, you're obviously watching on our YouTube channel, and if you're listening, you're obviously listening from our.
Oh, no, we're not going to do this now.
No.
I think we need to do the booping thing now.
Stay tuned. Yeah. Hello and welcome to another episode. Okay, guys, let's get into this. What are you guys playing?
It's been a while. We're a little out of the groove, aren't we?
Yeah, we're rusty.
Yeah.
Oh. So, Paulie, you've probably been playing the most. I've been watching.
Yeah.
I've been creeping you on your Switch, and I've noticed you buy so many games, but you only play them for half an hour. So I saw you. I saw you.
Statistics don't lie.
I saw you. You got Lost Sphere.
Lost Fear.
Yeah.
No, I'm more than a few hours.
Okay,
into
so I
that game.
haven't creeped you in a bit, but I do enjoy creeping you.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm used to it. Yeah, okay, so Celeste, I'm going to start with. I think it's going to be the quickest one out of the bunch because it's very easy to describe. It's just almost exactly like Towerfall Ascension, but if they made a proper game out of it. The mechanics are almost near identical to it, but that's a good thing. The game played very well before. This game plays very well now.
Yeah, IGN gave it a 10 out of 10.
That's because IGN gives everybody a 10 out of 10.
No, that's not true. Out of
Call of Duty, 10 out of 10.
Yes.
Anything that comes out of a major dev, 10 out of 10.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they just I don't trust IGN with scores anymore. But
I
will
disagree.
say-
I listened to their podcast. The people who review these games they're really good people.
Oh, that's fine. I
I'm
just
sure-
think,
I think
they're
that-
jaded with the scoring. It's
Sure.
The opposite of jaded, they're oddly positive with the scoring.
okay, fine. Sorry, I just meant they're like
they
out of
encourage
whack.
games. That's their business. Like if I was
Yeah.
IGN, I'd want to give lots of good reviews since they thrive on video game business. And if the video games are doing well, they're doing well.
Yeah, but it seems disingenuous at that point.
I think
though.
it's just a core problem with having a game score out of 10 because 5 should be average, but everybody sees that as like a grade as failing. So you're
much.
basically like if you make a game below like 8.0, like even below 7.0, it's basically unmarketable. You're
Yeah.
almost like saying don't even bother playing this game.
Yeah, there is a small sect of people that love playing sevens, and I like kind of want to try to become that person, but I don't know if I can.
I'd like to not live on the internet and make all my decisions based on other people's opinions.
But you do.
But God, it's hard.
Yeah, it's fun. But anyway, Celeste.
Keep
incredible
listening.
Game. Incredible game. It's tight as hell. The story is actually very well put together. It's in the background enough that it doesn't really overshadow what the game truly is, which is just a great platforming game.
Mm-hmm.
But it is there to add a little more flavor into the mix, and I love it so far.
Yeah, like it covers like anxiety and depression.
Yeah, lots of like mental health issues and whatnot. They cover a bunch of it, and they almost like
So
personify it in certain ways. It's
so
really
odd.
really cool.
A tough as nails platforming game touching on depression and anxiety. Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, kind of meta in that sense. Eh?
Yeah, right?
Yeah. So yeah, that's all I really have to say about Celeste. It's an
Or do
incredible
you
game.
suck at it, or are you good?
No, I've been doing pretty well. It
Yeah?
takes a little bit to get used to it, but once you understand the mechanics, they add little things here and there to upgrade the gameplay as you go along in the story.
Yeah.
It's been a huge game for me. I love it.
And you could also you could scale back the difficulty through like a debug mode.
Can you? I had no idea. I just kind of like played.
This is what I heard of, but it's what I heard.
I heard there's, well, not heard. I've found a couple of quote unquote B-sides in the game. And what that does is it creates a super hard version of the level that you just played.
Cute.
I tried playing it, didn't last like 2 minutes. I'm like, okay, I got to get better at this game first, and I'll go back for the B-sides.
And those are little cassettes you find, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Not to
B-side.
mention, in the vein of like
Superstars.
8-Bit Runner and Super Meat Boy and whatever.
Yeah.
They actually have a little Game Boy version of the game within the game. So you're playing yourself in the game. It's craziness.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, you know what I mean? She opens up like it's like
an Inception.
Commodore 64 style computer or whatever. It looks almost like Game Boy graphics, but with color. And it is awesome.
Nice. I like that.
It's even harder. It's like, it's craziness.
There's something about D-makes that I just really enjoy.
Yeah.
And that's like when you got like Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo,
Yep.
porting it to to the inferior Game Boy. It always interests me when they simplify graphics and make them D-makes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something cool
It's
about that.
cute.
Maybe we could do a video series about it one day. That we probably we'll never do. But it's an idea.
It's an idea. Lost Sphere. Jesus Christ, I had such high hopes for this game.
Why? It's Square Enix.
Yeah, but they had I Am Setsuna, and I Am Setsuna, for what it was with the amount of people they had working on it, was a spectacular game. It was incredible for what it was. The callbacks to Chrono Trigger and also to Final Fantasy, how they merged the two together. It was incredible. It felt like a good old school RPG. No random encounters. Everybody's on the screen.
Yeah. Now, Arzee, you played that as well. Would you agree with Polly?
I never played I Am Setsuna.
I thought you did.
No, I meant to. It's been on my list of games to play, but just more stuff is piled on faster than I can get to it.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So we'll have to take your word.
Yeah, the story was a little lackluster in I Am Setsuna, but the characters were great. So there was a lot going for it. The problem is that they essentially took the core of I Am Setsuna and then just started piling everything on top of it.
Yeah.
Like any idea they could have possibly had, they just threw it in without any, quality control.
Yeah.
They've added a few good things. One being that you can move around within an area while to like target them, and you have certain areas that you can attack within. So a ranged character has a pierce move. You can set it up so that the line goes through multiple enemies and hits all of them all at the same time, right?
I saw that. That's kind of cool.
It is. It's awesome. But at the same time, the dual and tri attacks where either all three party members or two of them will attack at the same time for some super attack can only be done when you're wearing a Volca suit.
Oh.
Yeah. And those you need to equip either before the battle starts, or if you do equip it in battle, it takes your turn.
Oh, interesting.
So to me, it's a detriment to the game.
Yeah, it prevents you from ever really using those moves.
Exactly, right? And you use essentially the same spells and techs that you would use in one mode or the other outside of the duels and triples. So, like, what's the point, right? Yeah. The story's been okay so far. Characters I didn't like at the beginning, but they're actually starting to grow on me. Mm-hmm. I'm waiting to see how the story progresses, but it seems just like your typical evil empire JRPG. Oh, the good guy's going to turn into the bad guy type situation. So I don't know. I'm thinking this thing might be like a 7. I'm really disappointed.
Out of
10.5.
Now, are you far along in the game? Because I know I was making fun of you for only playing a couple hours, but where are you in terms of...
I played it a bunch in Florida, and then when I got home, I played it a bunch. I'm probably around the 5-6 hour mark in it.
And it's probably, like a 10-hour game?
Yeah, wherever I am, I'm just past where the demo sets you in.
Okay.
So when I got to the area, I recognized it immediately, and then beat that area, and I went a little further beyond. So if you haven't played the game, you know pretty much exactly where I am.
Is this a full-price game?
No.
It's like $40, I think?
40, 50 bucks, yeah. 50 bucks Canadian, 40 American.
Okay, not bad.
Yeah.
I won't be playing it.
Yeah, don't.
I won't.
Gates are up.
Yeah. And the last game I want to talk about is the Secret of Mana remake. Which actually just came out yesterday, I believe. So it is, for what it is, a good remake. Not great. The fact that we already knew that it wasn't going to be graphically intensive. We knew that they were going to be modeling it after essentially the same game. The voice acting we knew was going to be horrendous because of the trailers. If you come into it knowing that, you change a few settings. So I have it running in Japanese, which the voice acting is way better. I have the original soundtrack running over the remade soundtrack, which was atrocious. And with that in mind, it really was. But with that in mind, the gameplay mechanics have gotten better. Hit detection is through the roof, where that was a problem with the old game. They've kept a few things here and there. I know there's some people were complaining about enemy invulnerability after you hit them, which was like an old school thing to do, but not many people do it now. But it's pointless because the style of the game is you have to like hit, and to get your biggest attack afterwards, you have to wait at least a second and a half to 2 seconds before you attack again.
Yeah.
So to me, it seems like a pointless complaint. And everything everybody's complaining about this game with has been the music, which you can change, the voice acting, which you can change, and the aesthetics, which I like. I think they suit the game very, very well.
They're cute, and the graphics. Are you playing this on iOS or Android?
None. I'm playing it on PC.
Oh, I thought it was a mobile game because it looks like a mobile game.
Yeah, but it doesn't. When you know mobile games for like their chibi style, you see the generic models. When it gets into the cutscenes, the like characters don't even move their mouths, which whatever, fine, fair enough.
Okay.
But when you see the characters and how distinct the main characters are, they really did do a great job in remodeling them into a 3D realm.
Well, they got good source material.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And they, to me, the aesthetics fit the game. It was always kind of cutesy.
Yeah, you don't want like a Final Fantasy VII remake for Secret of Mana. I think this is, along the lines, this is appropriate.
Exactly. When you're looking at a game even like Dragon Quest, that game didn't get ultra realistic because it was made by Akira Toriyama for the...
well, Dragon Quest 11 is like the environments are like hyper realistic, but the characters
it's
are...
like that very sparse art style, but it was very like high graphic. I don't know what the right word is for
high
it.
budget?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's a better way to say it.
And when we get a new, Mana game, which may or may not happen, they might do the same thing. But when it comes down to a remake, I'm okay with what it was. It's a $45 game Canadian, meaning probably $35 American.
Yeah.
It's not much considering current pricing of indie games, being at $30 mostly for the most part, $25. Considering that, to me, it's worth the purchase. Mind you, if you don't like the original game or haven't played the original game, it's probably not good to buy it. This is strictly for nostalgia purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, sorry.
So what's interesting to me is like I feel like you're being much harder on Lost Sphere than you are on this Secret of Mana remake. Like you just point out some very glaring weaknesses in the game, being the music, the voice acting, like and even like from what you said, like the gameplay in certain
but they
places.
can be changed.
Yes, but it's just kind of like then what's the point?
Yeah, no, I get it. But this is an old school game. This game was made in, if I'm not mistaken, 1993. Or released in 1993.
Probably.
They tried to model it after that. There are some problems with certain pieces of the gameplay where you can tell they really tried to model it after the old school to make it feel like the game. And people are complaining about it. To me, it's pointless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you want a full-on remake, then fine, fair enough. But this wasn't that. It never was supposed to be that.
Or just go
they
play
showed
the
off
original.
exactly what it was at the beginning. Or play the original.
Yeah.
Which,
it was just re-released on the SNES Classic.
Yep.
And on the Switch in Japan, they released a compilation of all the Secret of Mana games. And,
and that they've been talking about
localizing
gauging interest over here in the West and potentially re-releasing it
based on the sales of the remake,
potentially, or just could be outcry from Twitter or other social media. Who knows, right? But the big thing about that isn't us getting Secret of Mana and the original on the on a Switch game card. We're gonna get a truly localized version of Seiken Dentetsu, whatever the Mana series is called in Japan, 3, which would be Secret of Mana 2.
Yes.
And we never had that game localized.
Oh my god. Speaking of that localization, how about Mother 3 and bets?
Oh, why? What happened?
I lost the bet, Paulie.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We never talked about this.
We haven't talked about this yet.
Yeah, so if I'm not mistaken, the consequence of the bet for you was that I can make you play whatever I want for, I believe, an hour on either Twitch or YouTube or whatever it is. So I'm working on
Wait,
something.
I think we should talk about the bet and what the bet was.
Oh, yeah. So
about
some
a
of our
year
newer
ago,
viewers,
Yeah, about a year ago, we made a bet between me and Paulie.
Yep.
I bet that we would get a new Metroid game and an announcement of Mother 3.
Yep. And we got half of it.
We got half of it and more. We got
Yeah.
2 Metroid games. And that's saying something. It's been a decade since we got one Metroid. And I put my stakes on a Metroid franchise, and we got 2 of them.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet. I feel like a winner just on that.
I just remember
Everyone's
because
a winner.
Everyone's a winner.
the stipulations on the bet on my side were if I were to lose was that I had to write like a 500-word essay.
Well, no, that was part of it. That was because it seemed the odds were stacked in your favor. Not only would Rusty be able to pick a game for you, but then you'd also have to write a 500-word essay on the merits of Spirit Tracks as the best Zelda game.
That's right. I remember that now. Which honestly still was a win-win in a certain situation, because either I get to humiliate Rusty in a certain way, shape, or form, which is awesome, or I get games from franchises that I love being released here in the West officially, and then I have to play a crappy game for an hour and write an essay.
Spirit Tracks is not a crappy game. And you've never played Spirit Tracks before?
No, I never said Spirit Tracks was a crappy game. I'm saying you make me play a crappy game for an hour.
Oh.
Yeah. But anyways, to speed things up a little bit, I actually have a little surprise for you guys.
Okay.
All right.
So, you know what? I'm going to go with the small thing first. There is a controller that got released recently that I purchased, and it is incredible.
Oh, you got one of those.
Whoa, this is the Super
NES.
Yeah, this is from 8BitDo. 8BitDo is, if you guys don't know them, make recreations of older controllers. And what they did is they made a Switch Pro controller that resembles the Super Nintendo. So it has 2 thumbsticks. It has four trigger buttons, so 2 bumpers and 2 triggers.
Yeah.
And proper SNES buttons across the board. And you can get it in the Super Nintendo style. That would be the SN30 Pro, or the Super Famicom style, which is the one that I have, and that's the SF30 Pro.
Nice. It's like the new version of Mad Catz.
Yeah.
So does this have gyro in it?
I believe so. Yes. It might not, but I know it does have rumble.
It doesn't have HD rumble though.
It doesn't have HD rumble. But I did bring a Super Nintendo controller for you guys to compare, and I noticed something immediately. The buttons on the 8BitDo are way better. Like way more clicky, nowhere near as mushy. It feels exactly the same in your hand.
Yeah, I agree.
They did an incredible job in recreating that old school controller. Did you show it to our viewers?
Yeah, they saw.
Cool. And the last one,
comparison.
and this actually kind of ties into that, is
I see what you mean.
This beauty right here. This is the Analog Super NT.
Oh my god, is this what I've been seeing all over the internet? It is!
Yeah.
Cool!
So Analog is a company that recreates consoles.
Okay.
And they do it in a way that brings it as close to the original as possible, where most emulation machines of sorts will dump the ROM to the CPU or to the computer, and then run it from there and run it on their based-in emulator. This is very different. This runs the game like a Super Nintendo from the cartridge.
Yes.
And brings it to the bus on the chipset, and that's it. You're good to go.
Yep.
So uses original controllers.
It's got some heft to it.
It does. It's pretty awesome. It's got a bunch of wicked features, whether it's scaling or resolution choices. Even there's an RGB light right here. So it'll turn on and turn red, but you can adjust it. So I've set it to the Famicom colors.
You should have set it to like classic purple.
Oh, no. I like that because it flashes the 4 colors from the Famicom.
I see. Now, this comes in 4 color schemes.
It does.
A black, a gray, a Super Famicom.
It was black, clear.
Clear. And then there's also the purple, the American NST Super Nintendo.
Yeah. And that has the purple buttons.
Why did you go with the gray scheme?
I've always had a soft spot for the Super Famicom. I kind of wished that
this is based off the Super Famicom.
This is the Super Famicom version.
Where are the colors?
That's the problem. And I was thinking if I can find like a little sticker like with a clear background and paste it on top,
can they not put the logo on it because
I would guess not.
100%, yeah, because it's not an official product. But this thing runs natively in 1080p, 60 frames per second. I tried it out yesterday. It is flawless. For like every first party title, any big title you could possibly play. I did a little bit of research. There are a few smaller titles that aren't perfect, but they are damn close. And there's patches and firmware updates coming for this device.
Yeah, I saw a video on this on the internet, and it plays the really, really hard games to play, like Yoshi's Island is one of them. Anything with a Super FX chip.
Kirby's Dream Land 3, it'll play well. It still has the lines and the transparent.
Kirby's Dream Land 3
there was so you know how there's the 2 clouds kind of running in certain areas in Kirby's Dream Land 3?
Okay.
In emulators, they're not, the one that's supposed to be transparent is just a bunch of lines.
I see.
This has the scaler in it, so if you set it to 2 times, it'll automatically blend the colors, and it actually looks like a transparent cloud going through.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's the customization on this machine is incredible. I love it.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, and we'll leave this.
Neat.
Now, I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like this is a like you have a Pro controller.
Yeah.
Why do you need this over what you
D-pad
already
for
have?
platformers. It's an easy choice to use that for Celeste over the Pro controller.
Really?
Oh yeah, no question.
Okay, because I know that the D-pad does have some issues on the Pro controller.
It does.
But I find that the only issue it does have is when you're going through, like, when you need to be really accurate when you're going through menus, like left and right.
Yeah.
I find when you're on a platformer that the blending in of directions on the Pro controller it is fine in my opinion for platformers.
Yeah, you know what? I tried it. I tried both because I had both controllers with me in Florida. This thing actually got shipped to where my parents are down there.
Nice.
Yeah, so I had it there. I tried it for the first time there, and it became my definitive controller for platforming.
I see. That's
and
cool.
I tried it on fighting games as well because it does hook up to PC, Android, and Mac as well. And I tried it with Dragon Ball Fighters, which is a great new fighting game if you guys are looking to get one. Easy choice for a controller for me for that as well.
How much?
As a fight stick. I think it was like 45 American.
Oh, not bad.
Not bad at all.
If it's not $90, it's not a Pro controller.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, how much did this bad boy get you?
That was expensive.
How much?
That's 190 American.
Whoa.
Yeah. But as the definitive version of a Super Nintendo for HD TV screens.
Definitive, like what's definitive mean?
Definitive meaning that almost every game that you could possibly want to play on it, either Super Famicom or Super Nintendo, it runs accurately with the sound and with the video, and natively outputs to 1080.
1080, nice.
So it looks crisp. It's awesome.
Now, this versus a Super Nintendo Classic Edition.
Digital Foundry actually did a little piece on it. If you guys want to go watch it, I'm going to butcher it if I get into too much detail, but they did show it off. And there are certain games that just do not run well on the Super Nintendo Mini that run incredibly well on this.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like?
What was it called? Airstrike something or other. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's that game where it's like an isometric view with you're the plane.
Well, it's hard to like talk about these games because these games were designed for CRT televisions.
Yeah,
and now they're getting to HD, and every console has like a different color scheme, and everything's a little bit different.
Yeah,
there's really no true answer to these games.
It's true, but this at least is RGB compatible.
Yes, that is true.
Which is a big plus.
I know. If it's not official, I don't like it. Moving on.
So, Rusty, what have you been playing?
I haven't been playing much. I'm still on the Super Mario Odyssey train.
Yep, nice.
I have 3 more moons to get.
Nice.
And that is from the final challenge.
Oh,
Nice.
the 15-minute, like,
Yeah, I haven't really.
the darker side?
I haven't spent. I probably spent about 10 minutes into it.
Okay.
I'm thinking maybe an hour into it, I could probably beat it. I
Yep.
just haven't had much time to get into it. I'm planning a trip for Japan, so like I'm really any extra time that I do have is being dedicated to Japan. There's these little cute miniature Switch cases that are like game cases.
Okay. Oh, I know what you're talking
That are
about.
coming out to Japan in April. I want to buy all of them.
Yeah.
They're like basically the same size as a Switch game card, but they're just miniature versions of the
actual, like, the
game cases.
jewel case. I don't know what you call that.
DVD
Weird.
case, yeah. Like
Yeah. I know what you're talking
So
about.
they're like, it's like this big, like, scaled down versions of the actual game box.
Holy shit.
They're just like mini holders for your.
But where would you put them?
They're on-
though?
they're
I feel
on
like you would
keychains.
lose them.
Yeah, they're on keychains.
Okay.
I just
All right,
like
I can see that
cute.
working.
It's
yeah.
cute.
It's cute.
I know myself. I would lose them.
Yes, you
There's
would.
no
you certainly
question.
would.
But I know
Yeah.
myself, and I would not lose them. I
Yep.
have every stylus from every DS console stored in my parents' basement.
Well,
like,
I've lost every stylus I've ever
I
owned.
still have I still have my Spectrobe stylus.
Oh, do you?
Remember Spectrobes?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh God, Spectrobes.
I have so many goodies in my parents' basement, and every time I go over, I go down there and comb through everything and make sure like everything's in its proper place, and all my Super Nintendo games are there, and that's what kind of like I really like about this, because you have to go get those Super Nintendo cartridges and stuff.
I'm planning on setting aside some money for some like expensive cartridges. I want Secret of Mana. I want Chrono Trigger. Like that's
Earthbound.
it. Oh yeah. This is it. It's happening.
Demon's Crest.
Oh, you know what? I forgot about Demon's Crest. I want to play that.
Mystical Ninja.
Yeah.
This also plays Japanese games.
Super Famicom games.
Super Famicom games. And Mystical Ninja 1 and 2, you don't need much, there's not much dialogue going on.
Yeah.
They're just platformers, and they're supposed to be really, really good.
Yeah, I have 2 recreations. So it was Do-Re-Mi, the whatever
that came out on the
adventure.
Wii. I remember that was a
Yeah, so somebody ripped that ROM and loaded it to a Super Nintendo cartridge for me. So whoever you are, thank you. And I also got Poppin's Quest, the one with it kind of looks like Link but with longer hair. It's a girl with a blue outfit.
Okay.
It jumps around, spins a sword.
Yes,
and everything.
you showed me that.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, so I can't wait to play those.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for the Virtual Console on the Switch to happen. And then hopefully it does happen.
Soon.
But until then, this is a really cool alternative.
Yeah.
And I love that it's here and I can touch it and see it.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Arzee. Sorry.
I'm not done.
Arzee, so what are you playing?
I'm also playing.
Paula gets 25 minutes. Rusty gets 2.
I know. Fuck sakes. I'm also playing Final Fantasy 15.
Oh.
On my phone.
Oh. Okay.
And God, it's horrible.
Oh, God, I knew it.
But it's so cute. It's kind of cute. But it's the same thing with Secret of Mana. Their mouths don't move when they're talking.
Yeah.
But the voice acting's pretty good. It's from the... everything's been ripped from the Final Fantasy 15 game.
Okay.
The cutscenes have been recreated, but it's all in chibi style. So like I was talking about, it's a really cool demake.
I guess.
It's not a demake if they're just cheaping out in some ways.
It's a demake.
All right.
Is this the version that we're going to be seeing on the Switch?
No one knows.
No one knows.
I think
Okay,
Square
fair
Enix
enough.
is trying everything they can to get the full version running on it. I doubt we'll see it.
Yeah, I can't see that.
But
That
I think
was a
every
graphically
big
intensive
developer is scrambling to get on board because the Switch is such a success, and we're gonna get into some Switch sales right after Arzee. What have you been
You're
playing?
about to segue me out, weren't you?
No, I totally was not.
So I finished Undertale, or at least my first pass through. Stop poking each other.
I can see the time, Polly.
I'm poking you.
Yeah, so I finished Undertale. So I did a regular pass through.
Ooh.
In the end, the ending was really, really cool, but not my cup of tea.
No?
The game in general, it just I was trying to finish it. I just
Weird.
it didn't do anything for me.
What didn't do it for you?
It just seemed kind of jokey and very self-referential, and I like that it's very, very different, but it just felt tedious. I got sick of the battle system. I got sick of the anime side jokes of everything's tsundere or however you pronounce that properly, and it just came off really jokey, and it wasn't.
That was the part of the charm for me, though.
Yeah,
That's why I liked it so much, was because of Sans with his ridiculous and ridiculously shitty puns.
Yeah.
And Papyrus being just a bag of hammers.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know. I really did like it for that reason, but I see where you're coming from. If you're not into that, it gets old quick.
Yeah, and I'm kind of annoyed by the path system where the game afterwards, I knew there's the pacifism, there's the sort of genres in between pacifism and genocide, but I didn't realize that you have to do one of those religiously in order to get a proper ending, which kind of I think I killed 2 people in the entire game, and otherwise I was running full pacifism, and I found out that had I not just been experimenting at the start of the game, that I would have had the ideal ending, and I really don't feel like going through the entire game over and over again just to get that.
Some people love that, but I know where you're coming from. It almost seems like a detriment to have to run through a whole RPG again just to get a different ending.
Yeah.
Back in the day with, the Chrono Triggers of the world and whatnot, even with those, you didn't have to restart the game for a bunch of it. There wasn't any point where you could turn back or you had to turn back outside of getting Magus to your team.
Yeah. I wish there was multiple save files. I understand why there isn't, and it's very important to how the game plays and how the game ends and a lot of that kind of stuff, but I really wish I could have saved at certain points and be I want to see where this goes, because I was trying not to look at I would have liked to be able to, let's have a save point, I'm going to try to go in this path or branch off this way, but instead you're just kind of stuck with it, and I did not like that game again enough to play multiple playthroughs.
What's the battle system like?
It's
Is it turn-based?
It's like
sort
adding
of
a shmup into an RPG.
What?
Yeah, it's like a hybrid of like the Earthbound battle system and like shmup elements.
Whoa.
Where like you're in combat when you're avoiding attacks, you're like this little cursor and you're dodging projectiles, and the projectiles are all different. And
That sounds fun.
yeah, like the gameplay is actually okay, but I just it got so tedious for me after a while.
I don't know. What really got me with that game specifically, I don't know if this happened to you, because it won't happen to a lot of people, but when your rabbit mother fights you,
Yes.
that when she takes you in and you try to escape and she needs to test your strength, whatever, when you fight her, I ended up killing her because I couldn't find a way to do the pacifism mode quick enough.
Yeah.
I ended up killing her.
Yeah.
And then I realized, I'm like, wait, no, this can't be the right way. So I know I had to save beforehand, so I reloaded the old save, went back, beat her in the pacifist mode, didn't kill her. And then when I got out, or it was before or after, I can't remember what, but Flowey showed up out of nowhere and he's like, I know what you did.
The exact same thing happened to me,
Yeah.
actually. Like, that kind of stuff, I think that is the coolest part of the game.
Yeah.
And without getting more details, like the ending, how all the things happen from there. Like, at the end, I'm like, oh, you son of a bitch. Like, you know, like, I knew exactly what was happening as the game was happening. And just like, all right. I see what you're doing here. Like,
Yeah.
all right, you got me, you fucker. Like,
It's, you know what, for the one guy creating pretty much everything, including the music, it was very meta, especially to the industry. Like, every boss, I believe, was supposed to represent musically a different era in gaming.
oh, interesting.
So Megalovania was supposed to be like Super Nintendo. There's one song that was made specifically in Mario Paint.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Love Mario Paint.
Yeah, so like each piece of that was supposed to represent something, a different era in the gaming industry.
Like the Koopa Kids,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. I still love that game though. I hate its community, but I love the game.
Yeah, in the end, it was all right. But, like,
Yeah.
I was expecting more.
It might have been overhyped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that.
Totally. Cool. What else?
Played a little bit more of They Are Billions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I at least beat a stage.
Yeah.
I've beaten the game once.
Oh.
And then like started playing on a harder difficulty, on a harder level, and just keep getting murked every time. Like, that game's got great bones to it, but for me to be able to play a game for 4 hours and then just get fucked in the final 15 minutes and then start all over again,
hard.
like I just don't have the time to have that much like at stake. You know what I mean? Because if I lose, I do understand the playing the game and then the actual feeling of accomplishment when you've actually beaten it, because it's actually very challenging. But it's just like the risk reward, like the time investment is just so steep right now, and also it's early in the game's sort of balance, and there's a lot of like units and structures that are basically useless comparative to other ones. So there's basically like really one way to play the game right now. Like there's certain units that are just either cost prohibitive or they just aren't as good as other things alongside them. Like, there's certain units that are just entirely superfluous.
Yeah.
And so there's there's no point of
Pokemon
using
syndrome.
them. Yeah, but I mean, when there's only 5 units in
Yeah.
the entire game and at least 2 of them aren't worth their weight, like, then
Yeah, well, okay, I got you.
it just ends up being a very similar playthrough every time.
See, this is making me not want to play this game. Because, I mean, let alone that, like, this is what stopped me from playing the last, oh my God, what was that game's called? The
Last of Us?
No, Dragon's Breath.
Oh.
Or whatever. You know what I'm talking about, right? The Dragon Breath games or whatever, the Capcom RPGs that were for Super Nintendo and Game Boy Advance and whatever. No? I'm pretty sure it was Dragon's Breath or something like that. Anyways,
whatever.
I can't remember. I'm having a brain fart right now. But I loved the second one and the third one. Never got to play the fourth, which apparently was the best one out of the bunch. And then 5 came out. And it was that style of game where, like, no matter how far you made it into a dungeon, if you died, game over.
Yeah.
And it completely deterred me from playing it. So I know where you're coming from. It's just, what's the point? Why bother putting this much effort and time into something that could just completely fuck you later on?
Yeah, I guess, like, it's not even, like, I even understand the appeal of that, because it's like why would you play Dark Souls if you're gonna be dying so much? Like that kind of mentality. It's not so much the difficulty, it's just me, like my time for video games is narrow. It's not my only hobby, and my time to spend on it is really small. So if I'm only gonna get 4 hours of game time in an entire week, like I kind of want to get the full experience and not feel like, all right, I guess I'll try again over the course of next week. Like I feel like there's a certain time investment I have to be able to have to truly enjoy that game, and I just don't have it.
I get you. I mean, in the sense of Dark Souls and Demon whatever Souls game, they at least have the bonfires. Like, there's no way it's 4 hours in between bonfires in that game. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, you can lose some progress, and I've gotten pissed off at other RPGs that were way easier than that. But to have it that you're 4 hours, 5 hours into a game and you lose everything, it's a rage quit and delete.
Yeah,
for me at least.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for discussing your what you're playing's.
Yeah. Sorry mine took so long.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Well, I missed last episode. I had a lot.
That's true. Okay, but let's take a little break, and when we return, we will talk some Switch sales, some Kingdom Hearts, and maybe some Nintendo LABO. See you soon.
See ya.
And we are back. Thanks for sticking around.
Hey.
On this half of Game & Watch It, let's get into some Switch sale numbers.
Yeah, let me just pull this up.
So as you guys know, the Switch has been doing really, really well. It has outsold in comparison to the Wii U. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
So
I think it did like the Wii U's numbers in its first year.
not even, because it came out in March and it hasn't even been a full year yet, and it's already outpaced the Wii U by like. So the Wii U and its total life sale numbers. How long was it out for? Probably like 4 or 5 years.
I think it has a regular lifespan, right?
3-4 years, I think.
Yeah, it had a
Wii U.
regular lifespan.
Yeah.
And
It was still pretty short. Normal lifespans are like 6 to 8 years.
Yeah, now they are, but I guess it had like
No,
a
they're
normal...
not anymore. Now they're like down to like 4 years because you're supposed to buy the upgraded
Oh
version
yeah,
of
but that's
system.
the 0.5. It's the same generation, you know.
But
what
I think
mean?
if we
Quote
look
unquote.
back, if we look back at like SNES and NES and stuff like that, it was always about 5 years, 5-6 years.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I see where you're coming from. With
So
that.
in the Wii U's lifespan, it sold 13.56 million units, and the Switch has sold in its first 9 months.
Yeah.
Has sold 14.86 million units.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, but it's also not saying much because the Wii U sold extremely low.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the PS4 right now is sitting on 70 some odd million right now.
The PS4?
PS4.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, and as far as I know, the Switch is matching the PS4's first year, if not maybe barely exceeding it.
Exceeding it.
Yeah.
Not barely. I think it's like doing...
Was it?
I don't know if it's exceeding it. I know it is, but I don't know by how much. But in terms of like games and stuff, the amount of games the Switch has compared to the PS4 and Xbox.
Oh, trust me, I remember that first year for the PS4.
Insane.
Yeah, I remember that. I
like
played Killzone. That game was not that good of a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's got like 100 more games in its first year than it does to this generation of consoles. So it's doing really well. In terms of software numbers, Mario Odyssey has sold 9 million units.
What's that compared to Zelda?
More.
Really?
Yeah.
Much more.
Yeah.
Really?
Zelda, I
Yeah.
think, was at 7 mil.
Zelda is at 6.7 million units.
Huh.
I don't know if that's that is a combination of Wii U and Switch numbers. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has sold... No. The Legend of Zelda is 6.7 million units just on the Switch. So it's a little higher.
Yep.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has sold another 7.3 million units. A freaking port has almost doubled what it made on the Wii U.
It's crazy. Even so Mario Kart 8,
Yeah. So everyone was complaining
ridiculous.
about like, oh, it's going to be a port machine, but Nintendo knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're releasing these ports and they're selling crazy.
Well, they had this great stable of games for the Wii U, which were like fantastic first-party games. Like in some cases at their time, like Mario Kart 8, the probably like were arguably the best in the entire series, but they didn't really get the widespread appeal just because of the low play base on the Wii U.
Yeah.
And now Nintendo's got a winner on their hands. All the fanboys are coming home to roost.
Yeah,
and it's impressive to say the least.
It is, but you know what? This makes a lot of sense when it comes down to it. The Wii U again sold what 13.56 million units over its lifespan, right?
Yes.
Which, don't get me wrong, it's still a fair number considering it wasn't great
compared
but
to. It's the lowest of all the systems.
Yeah, but if you look at people like if you guys remember Dan from 1 or 2 episodes on the podcast, our good friend. He just never owns Nintendo consoles. And when he does, he usually gets rid of them after the first year or two. He's just always been that way. But the Switch has been sticking with him. I've been talking to him about it. And like games like Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze and now Bayonetta 2.
And 1.
And 1, but that came out on most other consoles. 2 was exclusive to the Wii U. With all these other games that are coming out that were on the Wii U that are now being released on the Switch, people that never got a chance to play them and people that will never own a Wii U are finally getting a chance to play this not only on their TV but portable as well.
It's true. It's just now as like these as fans and gamers, it's like when is it too many ports and when is it not enough ports? What's this balance? If it was up to me, just release everything. But like they have to like do this strategically.
Yeah, it's gonna be spread out, but honestly, as long as it's a good game, re-release it. Who cares?
Yeah.
Because anybody who hasn't played it will buy it. And that's a lot of people. I mean, when you're looking at a system that outsold its predecessor in its first year over what 4 or 5 years for the one before, yeah, go nuts. There's a bunch of people that never owned this console.
Now, like let's say Arzee, you played Mario Odyssey and you played Mario 3D World.
Yes.
Now, like how can like going from Odyssey and then let's say they re-release 3D World? Is that like will that put like a bad taste in Mario players' mouths, or
I don't know about that. Like, it all depends as if you've played it before and whether you think that game deserves a replay. I myself, like I am the least fan of platformers of the three of us. Yeah. I played Mario 3D Land. I really, really enjoyed it, but I wouldn't want to replay it. Conversely, something like Mario Kart just has that universal couch co-op replayability to it, whereas I would say less so for platformers, even multiplayer platforms. Yeah. And, well, frankly, I don't even know if I would have gotten Mario Kart if I didn't get it for free as a apology from Nintendo. But
true.
It depends on whether I played the game before, and I think what they need to market to is the fact that, like as you said, this is I would imagine in a very large percentage an entirely new player base. Yeah. A lot of people that have Switches now never had Wii U's, so for them these games would be brand new. But yeah, I see what you mean. That would that feel like a more like a downgrade from Mario Odyssey, but I would even say at this point, like they've become two very different games. Like the 3D overworld Marios and the 2D strictly platforming Marios have really diverged to a certain degree, where they're essentially different games with a lot of similarities.
Yeah, I completely agree. Not to mention, there's been a lot of talk ever since the Dolphin emulator came out for PC. A lot of people are upscaling games like Mario Galaxy, let's say. Or Donkey Kong Country Returns. And they look phenomenal. And it's all just built into the assets. They had to downscale them for the console, but they were built with HD in mind. Yeah. So the fact that you can upscale them means that we have the potential of seeing even Wii games being ported to this console. And why not? At the end of the day...
Well, the infrastructure is not built for it. They don't have a sensor bar built into the system. Now maybe they can build like a cardboard piece and you could use the IR camera and the right Joy-Con and you could like prop that on top of your TV to make like a weird makeshift sensor bar and Wiimote combination. But why out of the box, it's not built for Wii games.
But not all of them. But why would you need it for something like Mario Galaxy or something like Donkey Kong Country Returns?
Because Mario Galaxy, you're using the pointer to collect
the star bits.
Yeah.
But that was the one and only aspect. Beyond that, it was Waggle physics,
part of
which
it. It was while you're walking around. It's something to do just to like collect it. It was part of the game.
It's
it was
not
second
impossible,
nature.
but it would take that extra effort to either find some kind of compare, like whether just using I don't know how sophisticated the gyros are now, or the IR camera, like you said, or either that, or just like find some way that you just shake the controller.
Or even if it's just maybe use Splatoon controls and just have that cursor and you just like.
possible.
Position it around your 1080.
You definitely could. I'm not saying that like Skyward Sword is going to be re-released because that would be the toughest one out of the bunch.
But it would be so beautiful because that game,
it would be.
Like you said, a lot of these Wii games were built for 480p, but they were built in a time where they were built at a time where PS3 graphics were out and the technology in these games were there. It was just you couldn't see them because they were hidden behind a 480 screen.
Exactly. And that was the problem. If you guys get a chance, please go check out especially Mario Odyssey and how they upscaled
Galaxy.
it. Sorry, that's what I meant. Sorry, you're right. Mario Galaxy and how they upscaled it on the PC emulators. It is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible. So I do want to see more.
Even Donkey Kong Country Returns, like they're basically the same models from Returns to Tropical Freeze.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just upscaled.
Yeah,
like that game on the Wii looked so good that they didn't have to do much for Tropical Freeze other than make a game. But
I completely
agree. Assets,
yeah,
I would love to. I'm surprised they didn't have Donkey Kong Country Returns and Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze as a pack-in.
It's because they had Funky Kong mode instead.
Yeah, that's true.
The coolest of baby modes.
Yes. Yeah,
the funkiest of baby modes.
The funkiest.
But yeah, I wonder. What were we talking about?
It was the sales of the Switch.
Yeah, the Switch sold really well. I think we've.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the Nintendo's past. So right under the Wii, so the Wii U is the worst selling console, and then next to that we have the Nintendo GameCube at 21 million units sold.
Yep.
And then we go on to I guess the N64, 32 million units sold.
Yeah.
And then the
Super Family actually didn't have much. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised by that.
Me too. I'm very surprised. But look how many software units it sold. It's 380 million units of software sold.
Compared to just shy of 50 million units sold for Super Nintendo and Super Famicoms combined.
And it's hard to compare because the markets for video games are just so much higher right now. Like,
of course,
in terms of the percentage of the population that plays video games. Mm-hmm. I think it's a completely different time, so it's hard to really go back and compare.
It is, but it was a steady decline from the NES. The NES, you're looking at 61.91 million. Yeah. Super Family is 49.1. N64 is 32.93. GameCube is 21.
So in terms of the home console, it started on a high note on the NES.
Exactly.
And then went all the way down until we got to the Wii. And then it spiked and doubled what the original NES did at 101 million units sold. Yeah. So if you're looking at Nintendo right now, you're looking at 3 spikes. One on the original Nintendo, then it went down. Another spike for the Wii, and then it went down for the Wii U, and then another big spike for the Switch so far. And now if you look on the portable side, it's always been strong. Yeah. Game Boys, it's always been in the 100,000s, 81,000, 71,000 for the DS family line.
The Game Boy seems a little bit skewed, though, because that includes the Game Boy Color as well, and that's 118.69 across all Game Boys before the Advance.
But the Game Boy Color was it was just a little blip in the...
It was, but it wasn't. It was still an upgraded console. It was a new Game Boy. You know what I mean? The games were more graphically intensive than your standard Game Boy games.
Yeah, but the Game Boy Color sucked. It was like, I don't know.
I'm just saying, comparing that to the DS at 154 million units, like that's huge.
That's really big.
That, and then the 3DS, you're looking at 71.9.
And it's still selling really well, the 3DS.
Yep.
And I think Nintendo will continue to support this system into 2018.
Well, is there even any?
I think so.
Like, what's still on the future for 3DS right now?
I think there's they haven't announced much. But there's like a sushi Sakuru puzzle game that they announced at last E3 that still hasn't.
Isn't there like this? Isn't there like a JRPG coming out, like the Paradise something or?
Don't know.
I'm forgetting.
What, Ever Oasis?
Yeah.
That's already out. That's been out for a while.
We got Detective Pikachu coming out in March. March 28th or something like that.
Yep.
That'll be my plane ride game to Tokyo.
Nice.
And I'm sure we'll see more. I personally like the 3DS. I kind of don't want it to fade away just yet.
Yeah, I know where you're coming from. It's going to get harder and harder as time goes on with the Switch.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the Switch is doing well.
Yep.
The PS4 is doing well.
It is.
The Xbox is doing well. It's a really good
huge influx for the Xbox. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Just considering everything, right around the time where the Xbox One S came out, they started seeing increases in sales, and now I don't remember the numbers, but the Xbox One X in that era, especially when they started merging everything with Windows. Their sales have been skyrocketing. They haven't quite matched what PS4 is doing, even on a year-to-year basis, but they're getting damn close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. But it's a good time to be a gamer.
Yeah.
And it's a good time for developers and video game companies to be in this business.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Another little side note, Nintendo has delayed their online infrastructure till September.
Yeah. Year and a half into the release.
That's good for us. We're not paying for online. It's just more...
It is, but I mean, for $20 a year, who really cares? You know what I mean? I'd rather see that and at least see the Virtual Console come out.
Yeah, that's what I'm more
features.
interested about, because when they do announce their online infrastructure, we'll get that free. We'll get more information on what they're going to do. Will they offer any freebies? We know they said they would offer an online NES game, but who knows where their plans are now with all these delays and everything.
Yeah,
so I'm curious to see what comes with the announcement.
I think they are, personally, I think the popular theory is true that they're working on some kind of like Netflix of gaming sort of streaming service to go with that, where there's sort of a rotating cast of games that will be available at any given time to play with your online subscription. And that seems like the only obvious response, considering they keep pushing out the online service and there's absolutely no word about a virtual console. So those two things must be intrinsically linked.
Yeah. There's no question. And honestly, a video game streaming service, that's going to kill it in this industry. Like what PlayStation Now is doing, but with old school virtual console games, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear more.
And Nintendo has finally announced there's something to do with your gold coins
for
the Switch in March, but they're really cutting it down for the wire for those of us that cashed in their stuff early.
Yeah, I saw some internet article and another YouTube video about something about saving. Don't register your games until they officially announce the rewards.
Yeah.
Because apparently there's like, I don't know, some algorithm, but just hold tight and wait, and we'll let you know, or the internet will let you know, because no one watches us.
Cute.
And moving on, we have a Kingdom Hearts.
Oh God, yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 8.
All right.
When you walk away, you don't hear.
So we got 2 new trailers from Kingdom Hearts, and we got a brand new song from Utada Hikari.
Yeah.
And you always know it's a brand new entry in the mainline Kingdom Hearts series when we get a brand new song from her. And she's fantastic. I love all her songs.
Yeah.
This one's kind of cool. It's got like this offbeat, off-tempo.
Yeah, it's almost like your like new age hip hop style drum beat to it with like the alternating hi-hats and whatnot.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense to anybody. Yeah.
Mixed with like Adele.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit notes of Adele.
Yeah, but it definitely comes off more as like an end credit song than a sort of pump up opening the game song.
Yeah.
Yeah, they always have an orchestra version, a pop version, and a like acoustic piano version. And they always have a new Dearly Beloved remix, or like a new iteration of Dearly Beloved, and that's one of my favorite songs. It's the menu song, if you're not aware.
Yeah. I was gonna say, if there's anything,
all right.
If there's anything that Kingdom Hearts has done right, it's the music. Like every game, for the most part, has killed it on the music side.
She's a great composer.
She is.
Don't know her name, but I know she did Super Mario RPG.
Yeah, I believe she also did Xenoblade Chronicles, the first one.
She did.
Yeah. A great composer.
Yeah, she's one of the greats.
Yeah, 100%.
What do you guys think of the trailer?
It's revealed a lot.
It's Kingdom Heartsy.
It is. I like the new worlds, though, whether we're looking at Toy Story or Monsters, Inc.
Pixar is right in there.
Yeah, they showed Ariel as like a super move, and thank God, because I do not want to go back to that world.
Summon.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
So we saw Monsters Inc. We saw Toy Story. We saw Tangled, and I think there's one more. What am I forgetting here?
I know there's a Hercules world.
Oh yes, and we saw Olympus. So
we saw Olympus already. That's about it. But this game looks fantastic.
It does.
It looks like a Pixar, not as good as a Pixar movie, but it's super close to like the original Toy Story. Yeah. And Monsters Incorporated looks fairly well. Sully, I guess, because of the hair physics, they can't reproduce what Pixar can reproduce. But
it kind of seems cheap.
Yeah, but like that's what they have to do. Mike Wazowski looks really good.
Yeah,
everyone looks fantastic. All the costumes are great.
Yeah. We saw Riku giving up his Keyblade. That was ridiculous.
Yes, more wonderful story.
Oh man,
oh, it's gonna be great. I can't wait to hear about the nothings and the heartless and whatever new enemy comes, and all like the characters in those black cloaks, because we don't want to have to bother having a different model for their bodies. and they're gender swapped anime heads and all with the spiky haircuts.
Hey, you leave that story alone. I've been following that story for like 10 years.
Have you? Because I don't think anyone's been following that story.
It is. You can watch YouTube videos about like how it's.
I don't want to waste my time.
I know. As soon as like I get to like I know Game Trailers put out a timeline video. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But I was watching it and I was like 10 minutes into this hour-long video and I was like, I'm done with this. I don't got time.
Yeah, the gameplay's always been a huge plus for the series, for the most part at least, when you're looking at the main games like your Birth by Sleeps, your numbered titles, Dream Drop Distance. The gameplay's always been spectacular in those games. So if you want to play a game for the game, definitely...
It's a really good action RPG.
It is, and it looks like they're taking it to the next level with 3.
Yeah.
Or 8. Or 20. Or whatever it is right now.
Officially, this is the 8th entry into the Kingdom Hearts series. And they're not really side games. These side games are integral part... like story points, you know what I mean? Like
even Recoded, which was a mobile game, like it's ridiculous.
Especially Chain of Memories for Game Boy Advance. If you didn't play that game and you went into Kingdom Hearts 2, you'd be like, "What the fuck is going on?" You'd still be like, "What the fuck is going on?" But less so if you've played Chain of Memories.
Yeah, thank God for the manga. Because I read those instead, and I got the idea of what happened in Chain of Memories, and then I moved on into 2. It was perfect.
Yeah. I remember those mangas.
They were awesome.
Yeah. I liked them. They were cute.
Anyways, do you guys have any final thoughts on Kingdom Hearts 3?
I can't wait to play it. I always enjoy it. It's always a good, stupid fun with a stupid storyline.
Yeah, it seems about right. Yeah. I'm excited for the gameplay. I cannot wait for it. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. I'm excited to find out vague details so I can make fun of it.
That is true.
Maybe we'll find out if Kingdom Hearts is really light.
I doubt it. And moving on, let's get into Nintendo LABO.
Yes.
2 new trailers.
All right.
Yep.
We got 2 new trailers. What did you guys think?
I like it. It seems like they're doing a lot with it. I'm the one I'm most excited for is the music one. It seems like they're really adding in a bunch of great music functionality, even the ability to change like things like the reverb, or if you like shake the little keyboard, it adds vibrato to it. You can record and make your own songs like in Mario Paint. This is perfect. Yeah. I love this.
Yeah, I agree. It's like a Wii Music.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, I'm really impressed by it seems like the games are a lot more deep than I would have expected.
Yeah.
For each of the various mini games, but like I'm sure Labo is going to be a hit. Like it's looking pretty great for what it's planning to be.
Yeah, they had a lot of hands-on preview events and everything has just been positive.
Good.
From the durability of the cardboard.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
To the to like just the whole like just from like start to finish.
But how does it stand up to spilled beer?
That's true. And
you're gonna have to spray like some kind of clear coat all over your stuff.
But that's the point of like the arts
and
and crafts aspect. Like they're making you like put more tape on it to make it prettier.
Yeah.
And also like give it more structure.
Yeah.
So it's brilliant. I really think this is like one of the best ideas that has come out of Nintendo in a very long time.
Oh yeah, just for pure innovation and reinventing the wheel in a sense for video games. 100%, I agree.
Just even like something like I'll like to like just make up with game concepts in my head sometimes and just like come up with different ideas, and then like they show Labo and it's like, what the how did they come up with that? Like my mind would have never gone there.
Yeah,
and that just shows. It just goes to show that that's why they're my favorite company, and
they are easily one of the best video game companies in the world.
And
There's
like
no question.
just like not even like just like in general, like just creativity and like innovation and stuff.
Yeah, I completely agree. I do want to see what else they're going to come out with, because this seems just like the first phase in many to come.
Well, we already discussed that Toy-Con Set 3.
Yeah,
they teased.
Yep.
But I had a dream actually that they made Doom made a Labo gun, and like it was their own thing, and then it's like now you can play Doom with this shotgun.
Yeah.
And you can play through the game with it. So just like I can start seeing like third-party developers coming up with
their own sort of Labo equivalents.
Yeah.
I can also see them coming up with like smaller packages that maybe have one small attachment and marketing it for a lower price. Like there's a lot of flexibility and potential there.
Oh, tons.
True, yeah.
And I was saying this before, but I want to see something along the lines of like a Korg, synthesizer built for the Switch that will use the keyboard that they've already made for Labo. It's there, and it works exactly like my small little MIDI controller. I have double the amount of keys on it, but honestly, when you're able to switch octaves and record something like you would in like a tracker or what they're giving you already. You don't need it. All you need to do is just adjust the octave as you're writing down notes and you're good to go.
Yeah, that was one thing I was going to say is like the one, like only having one octave there is probably going to make it a bit tedious to do a lot of songs. Like I'm curious to see how they can make it that maybe you could just rapidly change octaves while playing. So from what it looked like, it's like a menu where you have to go back and adjust the octave of everything you're playing, which strikes me that would be very, very tedious.
Yeah, they might add functionality with like some of those attachments that they showed where you can like plug something in, it changes the look or can do something. You can like adjust something.
You can put those little cards in like old school like Western pianos.
That is so cool. Like the beat cards and waveforms. Like that, just those things like that. Like it's, I would have never even thought of having that much detail in this thing. I just figured, okay, it's just you're gonna teach you little songs, play like Claire de Lune or some shit, and then that would be the end of the day. But when you saw the whole suite they have set up, that's far more in depth, I would say, that even Mario Paint from what we're seeing.
Oh, for sure,
And then like the waveform cards and the beat cards that you put in, like that's so impressive.
It's you know what, for anybody that is into music creation, especially digital music creation, they already know what certain waves look like. And they can recreate them in that form. Even for chiptunes, it's easy. Your square wave is just this.
Oh, really?
So if you can set that up and cut it properly, put it in, you can make chiptunes and create the different layers and tracks for yourself, different instruments, and just create your own actual chiptune song within this video game. It's almost like incredibly meta,
Yeah, the community behind this is going to be huge. I can't wait to see people's pianos. I can't wait to see like how they customize their pianos and then see like customized songs and just see like customized tracks from that. Like you could scan your own track and you could use the bike to draw the path and other things. And it's just, there's so much potential, and I'm probably going to buy it, but I'm just more curious to go online and see what people create.
Yeah. Same thing. The community is going to be gigantic with something like this, so I'm excited.
Are you guys going to get it? Has it changed your mind?
Oh yeah. I'm doing it even just for the keyboard alone.
Did this trailer change your mind, or were you going to get it beforehand?
I was going to get it beforehand. This kind of solidified what I was planning on doing anyways. But I do want to try out a few other things. It looks like the motorbike one is going to be my second mainstay. That looks really, really fun.
Looks cool, yeah. And apparently the engine has kind of been picked up from Mario Kart 8.
Which is very similar.
It does, and that's a great choice.
Mario Kart Tour we haven't talked about.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's this? I haven't heard about this.
The next mobile game from Nintendo is Mario Kart.
Oh, I have heard about this.
They haven't really announced much, so there's nothing to talk about, but that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, you know how it's going to play. It's going to be all gyro.
Who knows? It might be like slot cars. It might be an aerial view. Who knows what they'll do?
Yeah.
There's so many options.
Well, we'll see. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm just, everything they've been coming out with recently has been, if not a home run, damn freaking close.
Yeah, they've been pretty good so far.
Yeah, so I'm excited. Kirby's coming out next month. Bayonetta's coming out.
It's out.
Oh, that's right. It came out yesterday.
Yeah. Now I played part 2 on my Wii U when it came out.
Yeah.
But I never got around to playing part 1.
See, I have the opposite. I played 1 and never played 2.
Oh, I see. So I think I'm gonna buy it again.
Oh, I'm replaying it. There's no question.
I also want to buy it because it comes with a reversible sleeve.
Yeah, for the art.
And so I have my Wii U Bayonetta 2, and I don't have a Bayonetta 1, so I'm
gonna flip it over.
I don't know if I should buy it. Probably not. I probably shouldn't, but I probably will.
I'm 100% gonna buy it. I forgot because I was actually planning on going to get it yesterday, and I obviously forgot about it. So
but you don't have the Wii U version?
I do, but I want to replay it, dude. That game for a beat 'em up is the definitive 3D beat 'em up. Like it outbeat everything else that Platinum's ever touched. Outside of maybe Nier Automata, but I can't say for sure. Still haven't played it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Any final thoughts? Anything you want to like stress from the podcast? Any last words?
I got one.
Yeah.
What's that?
Fuck Square Enix.
No.
Whatever they've been touching right now, they have so much potential and they have been squandering it. They've been making stuff that I'm enjoying, but as I'm playing it, all I can think of is I could have seen this game and made it better instantly with just a few adjustments.
I disagree. I think Kingdom Hearts 3 trailers, both of them were the highlights of my week.
Oh, yeah, those are trailers. I guararantee you when the game comes out, there's going to be some fucky shit.
Kingdom Hearts has always been a good game. They've always been fun to play, and I haven't really had a problem other than the storyline.
That's everybody. Yeah, I'm just hoping to God that they don't fuck up Kingdom Hearts 3. But even again, the Secret of Mana remake, they could have done a way better job on. I'm still enjoying it because of nostalgia. But as I said before, if you haven't played the game and you didn't love it that much, don't bother buying it. It's not worth it. Also, Lost Sphere, kind of a disappointment in a sense. Still a good game, not as good as I Am Setsuna.
Okay.
So like, it seems like they're just on a downturn right now, which is not great.
Cool.
It seems like they don't care enough.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Arzee, any last words?
No, I think we need to know where they could find us.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So obviously we're on YouTube. If you guys are watching us, thank you.
Oh, hi.
If you're listening to us, also thank you. But if you are on YouTube and you do want to listen to us on the go, we are on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, and Podbay.
All the places you find podcasts.
Except for one, and I'm actually working on it. I found out Spotify has podcasts as well.
Yeah, I was looking on Spotify
Yeah.
and we weren't there, and I was gonna write us a nasty email.
I sent in a requisition to them about a week or two ago. I'm waiting on a response from them, but I sent them the RSS feed from SoundCloud, which is our main hub. And I'm just waiting on a response from them. So hopefully you guys will be able to find us on Spotify soon.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Everybody, thank you for watching and joining us. Stay tuned. In a couple weeks, we'll be back with more news and Let's Plays and our stupid opinions.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
And scene.
Yeah.